So we often hear about hybrid golf clubs or utility golf clubs, sometimes also called rescue clubs. And I think for a lot of people that conjures up images that you only need this hybrid golf club when you've got yourself in a bad situation. Well, I'm going to go against that to a certain extent, and I'm going to suggest you use the hybrid golf club to not put yourself in that rescuable situation, not put yourself in that bad place. So I like to see a lot of golfers using hybrid golf clubs or rescue golf clubs, whatever you want to call them, to actually keep it in play and keep it safe. So using it quite often off the tee. So you see a lot of golfers, they'll take 18 holes, par 3s they'll use irons, par 4s, par 5s, they'll always take driver. So you've got 14 drivers and 4 irons. I'd actually like to mix into that, maybe as many as 6 hybrid golf clubs off the tee during your round of golf. So pick the 6 most difficult holes, or the 6 longest par 3s, or a couple of long par 3s and a couple of difficult holes. So the benefit of doing this is generally a hybrid golf club, a little bit shorter in the shaft, that's easier to control, a little bit more consistent on the strike because of that. And also if you get the right loft on the golf club, you'll be producing quite a lot of backspin. Now the backspin is the natural enemy of curving spin taking the ball left to right, right to left. So we want the ball backspinning this way, and if there is any curve spin, it'll tilt the axis very slightly. If you have a ball that's not backspinning much, it's much easier to tilt the axis and spin the ball too much sideways, which is why most people say, oh, I hit my irons fine, Pete, but then when I get to my driver, it just curves off line. It's just the tilted spin. It's not spinning this way, it's spinning too far this way. So if you can use a golf club that has plenty of loft, it's much more difficult to tilt the axis of that spin and keep the ball much straighter. So a simple experiment, simple test. Take 10 balls down at the driving range with your driver and take 10 balls down the driving range with your hybrid golf club, and just work out how wide they're landing. And what you might find is, yes, the best shots that you hit will come from the driver, but I would almost guarantee the worst shots you hit would also come from the driver. Whereas the hybrid golf club, the rescue golf club, whatever you want to call it, is probably going to give you a more accurate and more consistent dispersion of your shots. Then you apply that out on the golf course and you look at those holes where a bad shot is going to cost you double. So not just a bad shot will put me on someone else's fairway, well that's alright, you can play off somebody else's fairway, but if that bad shot's going to put you out of bounds, simply don't bring in the possibility of hitting that bad shot by taking your driver. Take a hybrid golf club, keep it in play. So manage your way around the golf course by using your hybrids. Then you've also got par 3s. I often see people trying to struggle onto par 3s by hitting very long irons. You know, if you're going into a par 3 with a 3 or 4 iron, the nature of the flight of that 3 or 4 iron is generally quite low. It's quite a penetrating flight. Therefore, when it lands, it might release up the green. It doesn't have a great deal of backspin. Now, most par 3s are probably going to have danger, bunkers, humps, mounds, maybe even ponds at the front of the green. So you've got to clear the pond and then get the ball to stop. Now, a hybrid golf club is perfectly positioned to do that. It has lots of weight low and deep, enough loft on the face to give it the height, yet still a lightweight graphite shaft and quite a long shaft to give you enough distance. If you then play that ball on a small tee peg, so positioning around about half the width of the golf ball above the crown of the golf club, and then sweep the ball off your front foot. So play the ball nicely forwards in the stance, sweeping it away off the tee. You'll find this towering high iron flight comes in, lands and stops fairly quickly. Sorry, the towering high hybrid flight goes nice and high, lands, stops fairly quickly, whereas a more penetrating iron flight might land at the front of the green and release over. So have a consideration of how many times you should be using hybrid clubs or rescue golf clubs off the tee in your round. And I reckon the more you use these, the less your score will be.